So I am Beth Webb here with NME, and I'm here with Tony Basgallop and Lauren Ambrose, who are the showrunner and star of Servant. Congratulations on the show. My goodness. Thanks. Tony, I wanted to start with yourself. You've had such a varied background in show writing, everything from EastEnders to 24. Where along the way did the seed for this show begin to kind of blossom?
I think so. Somewhere between EastEnders and 24 is when I kind of began on it. Literally, from Albert Square to Jack Bauer, it's an interesting journey. But yeah, I think the moment I had children, I think every writer's kind of, when you find that true experience that kind of opens your eyes to new things, then stories come flooding out. And for me, I like to see the disaster scenario and everything I do, and being handed a newborn baby. It just, your mind gets active of all the things that I could do wrong and everything I could be blamed for. And at that point, that there's a story to tell. It takes a long time to do that. So I'd write a little bit and then go off and do a different show or work on someone else's show and then come back and write a little bit more until, it just develops into something fully formed.
Can you both tell me about the first time you saw the doll and the initial reactions? Was it something that you'd imagined in your mind beforehand? Was it scarier?
How did you feel?
How did I feel? Well, the prop man opened up this big metal case and slowly handed me this very heavy silicone human. It's a great prop. It's beautifully made. It's very comforting to Dorothy, so I tried to approach it from that way. Although, to Lauren and the other actors on set, it was endless source of comedy. So
you were not allowed to throw it around, though. It's too expensive.
No, it's
too
extremely precious thing. Yes, everyone guards it with their life.
There were moments when I was writing scenes where people were drop kicking the doll, just to.
They said,
and then we just go, you're not allowed to do this with the doll. So, okay.
Do you know how much this doll costs?
Yes, we can't keep killing these dolls. But yeah, I mean, I it was interesting watching the cast with it. It was interesting sort of how when you start holding it, at first it's like, it's a doll. And then you take a little bit more care. And once it starts to slip out of your hand, you just, because the weight of it, because the weight of the head and if you let go of the neck, the head falls back. And you suddenly, I think you're trained as a human being not to let something baby-shaped fall.
Yeah.
Well, if that's a good way of putting it. So, yeah, everyone's cautious. And
then in terms of the M. Night Shyamalan-verse, if that's what we'll call it, how it's a mouthful. How well versed were you before you came on board with the project? Did you have a favourite film of his?
I had, I mean, personally, I'd recently watched Split before I met with him and started talking on this. And, I thought Split was a great film, I think. It was it's so intense, and when James McAvoy's performance in the middle of that, how he kind of pulled out all those different characters, and how kind of Knight wrote and structured that film, I thought it was faultless. And so it was great going in there with when he was on that massive high from Split. And that was kind of I'd known his work for years, and I was a big fan of The Village before. I liked Sixth Sense, but everyone always mentions The Sixth Sense, so I kind of
so good.
I know it's good, but I like to go somewhere where other people don't go. And so, The Village is always one of my favorites.
Yeah, I was really excited to work with Knight and learn by watching him how to make a thriller. I've never been involved in this genre before. I love, he's meticulous in every detail of his filmmaking. He storyboards every frame and every shot, and hires really cool artists to be around and to be on set, and the DP and the costumer and the set designer, and I mean just really amazing artists. So, and then he's great on set too, as when he's directing. He makes a very creative environment to work in.
And then just lastly, what are you hoping is the most important thing that people will take away from this show?
How not to raise children. I don't think it's one of those take away good advice type of shows. I think we want to keep people awake at night.
You do?
Yeah, wouldn't
So
you?
I think it's about, I don't even think Tony realizes that his writing is so beautiful, and it's about exploring these big ideas of humanity through the genre of the thriller. You can do that. I mean, what's a marriage? What is it to be in grief? What is it to be a mother? What's the difference between reality and perception? I think these are some of the big ideas that this piece discusses, and so I hope it gives people a lot to think about.
You know that answer.
I should take her everywhere I go. Really.
It's like, I don't know. No, I do. I think that's nice though, that you don't analyze your work because it's coming from a very real place.
Yeah, I've thought about it too much.
You don't want to think about it.
No, I want to
Just
forget
write
it now.
Yeah,
and,
me too.
Just see it.
I know. I don't even want to watch anymore, even though I love seeing everybody's work come together.
Good, thank you. We've lost a viewer.
I'm kind of.
No, I mean, it doesn't help me to watch my own work.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean.